Uh, so I came across this game because, alright, look. So when I browsed this site, I kept seeing this game and it had like weird, really weird thumbnails, right? And a lot of these thumbnails would be some like I don't really know how to explain. They're just really weird. Like there was one where it was like some sort of prisoner guy. I don't mean like these thumbnails. I mean like the uh these little icons like this. The icon for this game called Paradise Life had some really strange ones. It's not as strange as it used to be, but it's had a history of adding some really, really weird icons. If I can find it. Right now, it's not that weird. It's pretty normal. Uh, anyway, there was this game has had a history of really weird little icons on it. Like there was one of like it looked like some like I don't know like Roblox girls like sleeping in a bed, and there was like some sort of like Roblox guy in like a I don't know he was in like prisoner clothes, and he was like hiding in her closet watching her, which I thought was really weird. And then there was one where it was like there's some Roblox girl cornered on a wall, and she had like some scared face, like somebody was about to murder her or something. I don't know. It was really weird. Um, Another weird detail that I saw with this was that I looked at the group for this, and I figured, this already kind of looked a little weird, like with this, some missing image. And then when you look at the guy's profile, he joined like literally a month and 3 days from now. So that's a little strange to me. Another thing that I found quite strange about this was the guy only had one player badge, and the only favorites game that he has is that. Not that that seems strange or anything, but the date that this game came out is literally the same date that the creator of the group, or the owner of the group that made this game's account was created. Let me try to rephrase that in a simpler way. The creation date of this game is the same of that of the join date of the group owner, like of the group that made this. So I'll try to check it out and see. I've seen a few games that have like weird phenomenon like this. My guess, I'll try to explain it a little bit after I look at what this is. I don't know if this is recording the gameplay, but as you can see, this is what one might figure, just some simple roleplay game. My game is lagging horribly. Sorry about that. My computer's not very good, so trying to record and encode all this is gonna be a little intensive on me. My machine already throws that at me. I don't know if I bumped into something. Probably was that. It seems to give you that notification just by standing near it, which is interesting. So as what we can see, this is some simple, you know, really popular roleplay games that you see on this game. And these games, I don't think, require a whole lot of effort. As we can see, this mapping, while it's not bad, it's a low poly style. almost looks a little, I don't know, rushed in a weird way, and to an extent, I would not be surprised if this type of map would be stolen. Of course, I can't really, if this map was stolen, I can't really say for sure, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it were. Anyway, this is probably your most basic roleplay map. Um, Everything seems to be just about, normal. What I find not normal is how the person that made this game and the game's creation date are literally the same. That doesn't align with, you know, a development cycle, I guess. I personally think that seems a little shifty. Because that to me almost seems like this game might have been copied and maybe promoted to an extent. I'm not too sure. Playing the game, there's not really a whole lot we can really, I guess, state about it. That's strange. Well, then again, I guess the gameplay of these games doesn't really reveal anything anyways. But, what we can gather from this is that the join date of the developer and the creation of this game are the same. As we can see, though, with the game, and as you see, follow us on Twitter, it's the person behind the group owner's account is probably not just one person. It's probably a it's probably just some sort of development team. Look at this, maybe. There is nothing here. It says soon. Coming soon, and there is no tweets. The join date was September 2018, which is strange considering how much later the join date of this account was. I can't state that that really means anything specific, but I do have a pretty simple explanation for this, right? I think that's likely for this. Um, I I believe that um, well, I'll hit on another game actually first. I know this is probably a little boring, but I intended to be very entertaining. I'm more so just intended for it to be kind of a, I don't know, just to bring some attention to this, I guess. If I can find this game. It might. Is this it? No, it's not it. I want to say that the game is called, it was an obby. It was an obby of some sort. If I can spot it out here. Ah, here it was. Here it is. Rainbow Dropper Obby. Now, I know from some background knowledge and just, being around this game, I've been on this game. I've existed on this game for nearly 6 years. What I'll tell you right now is that this obby was very, very Um, there's a lot of pay for stuff to it, which I'll go through with you right now, I guess. This was something that some friends of mine had found. I don't know how. Anyway, when we look at this game, there's a lot of things that can be purchased, such as a VIP room, and then there's some false advertising right here that shows all these guns as if these are, well, it's just for this Fortnite pack, but the way it's sort of sitting by this says touch door to buy VIP, lots of cool stuff. The cool stuff is nothing but a bunch of Dominuses and some faces. Not really anything cool or worthwhile. And then of course he has some items that, allows people to just get to the obby very, well, not really easily, just sort of goof items. But if we look at this, hypothetically speaking, this should be relatively high prices. And you can see 775 Robux just for this. Look at the fidget spinner, 150 Robux. 650 Robux for this gun. Ridiculous prices. Touch to buy YouTuber commands. There's all these things you can buy at the start of it. And then there's like there's this little chest right here that shows like the Robux that the developer raised from this game and the donate, which is 10 Robux. So that means that this has made 137,115 Robux, which is pretty crazy. Anyway, that means that like I'm probably doing my math wrong, but if we divide that by 10, that means that there's been like over 13,000 users who have donated to this game. Anyway, this game tries to bait people into buying stuff quite a bit. As you can see here, there's more stuff that they offer the player to buy. Then we come to this choice where it says spawn free box, spawn diamond illusion box mythical. This costs 150 Robux. So basically they try to sell players, which if you know, which it's pretty much background knowledge that most of the people playing these games are going to be like little kids. Little kids can be easily baited into buying things, which is pretty much how this game is running right now. It's just baiting little kids into buying useless, worthless virtual in-game items. Now, why does this game exist? Well, the answer being is for money. As with that other game that I showed you, that strange kind of shifty um, roleplay game, these games are typically made by players who are typically made by what I call I would like to refer to as syndicates of people who use the developer exchange feature, or short DevX, on Roblox as a form of basically making easy money. I feel as though there have been a lot of groups that have been doing this as of recent, such as that one that I showed you. That was what I was trying to get at. I think that a lot of these games, such as this obby, I really wouldn't be surprised if it had been stolen. Um. Anyway, so what does this all mean? why did I make this video? I made this video to bring attention to the idea that this game is slowly being ruined. That Roblox in its entirety is slowly being ruined by what I just refer to as syndicates of people who are making really, really low effort games that will easily bait children into buying things with the virtual currency Robux in exchange for real money. These people make like thousands of dollars off these games. And I'm just trying to get at the fact that I feel as though this whole well, I just think it was sort of a greed amongst developers. This sort of brought a a lack of content quality in this game. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still good games on here, but a lot of them that have been getting popular are these games, and they the I'm just saying, these groups don't deserve as much attention as they get, and I would argue you shouldn't buy anything from them, because every time you buy something from them, that allows them to keep going and just making really, really crappy games, stealing content, whatnot, to make easy money. Um, and I feel as though this is a group that does that. Now, I was trying to get something earlier where I've been on here for probably over 5. I've been on Roblox for over 5 years, probably almost 6 now. Anyway, I'm probably gonna stop playing this hobby. Anyway, the group behind this hobby is called Wario Studios, which sounds like just an average group. You know what I think this group was I want to feel as though this may have been an actual group at one time, just sort of based off of the description, like they say, interested in cafes, join out cafe group today, go to affiliates tab, but there are no affiliates. So what that means to me is that this was probably a group that got hacked and taken over. And um what I'm trying to say is I think this was a group that likely got hacked, as this person says, new owner. And this is just some random bacon hair this account was made early on in the year. But they're just a bacon hair though. They have no friends. The only creation is their default place. They're still the default avatar. Funny enough, they have a verified email address. Anyway, one thing that I found quite strange about this was that the only badge that this person has is from some game that was also mentioned on the group page for the game that made that obby about some game called Swimming Simulator. People are saying, why was it taken down when in actuality it wasn't? The thing about Swimming Simulator is, I didn't really think this meant anything, although the description is quite odd, was the group that made it. I have been well aware of this group's existence for a while. This group is just called Games, and they are probably one of the shiftiest groups I've ever seen on Roblox. You can't see any info about them, but what you can see is their funds. They have over 1 million Robux in funds. That's a lot of real world money if this was submitted and transferred through DevX. Now, I'm not exactly sure how much money this is. Actually, it shows me how much Robux they have. They have 1,263,771 Robux. In DevX, I am not exactly sure what the I'm not exactly sure the rates. Okay, so if we go off this this math right here, if you go to 80 million Robux, that's $280,000. Or actually, hold on, that's a little high. 1 million Robux is 3,500 US dollars. That's quite a bit of money that this group has made, along with the other Robux that they've made. We take 200k, that's 350 plus 350, which would be 700. So we have over 8,500 plus 700. That's like $4,200, 4,200 US dollars. That is a lot of money made just from Roblox. This group is quite old. I know this. It's been locked. I do know that for a long time it was ran by just some random bacon hair account. And I believe there was something about or the game had an owner. Actually, if I remember right, the game's owner was just some default bacon hair with a strange username like that other group. I believe this is one of the biggest groups behind this. I believe that this is like a syndicate based around making money off of this game, off of fooling children into buying, cheesy items with Robux so that they can submit those Robux into DevX and make a lot of money. That is what I believe is that's what I believe is going on behind all this. If you look at the members of this group, they just seem to be average people, except for maybe a few. Let's look at a random account just to see if this is, This is a pretty regular account. This is probably a legitimate player. This group is locked now, so we can't really view much info on it, but we do know that it's high funds. We do know that it's made about over $4,000 at least. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say about this. If you even cared enough to go through all this, thanks. This video probably didn't make much sense because I don't have like a script or anything. I'm not really used to making these types of I'm not really used to making videos at all. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and bye.